Okay, it's no joke. Texas taxes, everybody's talking about. And if you haven't watched my previous video, you're gonna wanna check that out because it'll give you a little bit more frame of reference. But I decided that I'm going to share with you step by step what my actual formula is for protesting and appealing your county tax assessment on an annual basis. And if you want to know what makes me credible, well, this year they assessed my property at almost $820,000. By the time I was done with my data and my appeal, I walked out of there with a new market value of $685,000. So I think I know what I'm talking about. So there's a couple of key things that you need to know before we dive in, because there's a very big misconception around what value you're actually paying taxes on. And honestly, it all got a little bit wonky and even more convoluted when the counties came through and did that big blanket tax increase on everybody a few years back. And everybody threw their hands up in the air and were like, oh, but I have my homestead, it's fine. It's not fine. So let me break it down for you, because there are two numbers that are showing up on your county tax assessment, and you need to pay attention to both of them equally. The first one you're going to see is the market assessed value. Now, this is the number that the county believes if you were going to list your home on the market today, the home price that your house would actually achieve. The assessed value is the value that you pay your taxes on after all of your exemptions. And if you haven't paid attention to what I've been preaching previously, your homestead tax exemption is crucial. Apply this and make sure that you have that in place. Now, let's go back. When we're going in and we're doing this deep dive, our argument here is to reduce your market value. Now, again, this is the value they think is going to be what your home will sell for. Likely what a lot of people would say is their AKA Zestimate. But I want to be very clear that whatever the county assesses your value for has no weight. At the end of the day, the market dictates the home's value. So don't worry. If you get $150,000 off of your tax assessment, go celebrate, pop a bottle of champagne, because that is a huge win. That does not affect your home's appraisal value. Now, let's put that to bed and move on. Okay, so let's dive in. Here are some key things that you need to know. Your property value is going to come to you in two forms depending on how you signed up. Definitely snail mail. Now, know that they're always late to deliver, and there is a hard deadline for filing of May 15th annually. So it's always going to be a May 15th deadline to file your protest. You are going to receive on your paper assessment an e-file PIN number, and that will tie in to your portal. Log in online, click your property address, put in your e-file PIN, and literally all you have to do is say, I do not agree with your assessment. I believe my home value is X. I do request an informal hearing, and should I have to go to an appeal process, I request a single person panel. Submit. Step 1 is complete. Now let's move on. Okay, so I know that I keep harping on May 15th, but there is one little point, and this was something that I learned personally that I want to share and wish that somebody would have told me. If you recently purchased your home, meaning in the previous calendar year, and you receive a tax assessment with an inflated value, which you're going to receive that, you actually don't need to stress about the deadline and all of these steps. You have the full calendar year of the new year to provide the data to the county. And it's super simple. You literally will contact them and say, hey, I bought this home last year on this date and I paid this much. Here is my signed closing statement to verify, and they automatically will place the new adjusted value on your property. So at least you get one freebie, so take advantage of it. Now, let's dive into the step-by-steps of the formula that is going to save you literally thousands of dollars. Number 1, When you go in and you submit your request for a protest, there is going to be a box that is going to ask you if you would like the county to provide you the comp data that they used. Yes, the answer is always yes. Though small caveat, it may be absolutely useless. I went ahead and completed this process this year, and in Hays County, I received a beautiful email in my inbox that said the data that you have requested is now available for your review. When I click that data, and please keep in mind that I live in a very large master plan community, it included every single sold home in all of Hays County. It then said, be sure to click on your property code to locate the comps that have been used for your property. Surprise, surprise. When I scrolled down to my neighborhood, they had provided 74 sales, which was every single sale that had happened in my neighborhood over the last 12 months. Huge fail. That does not help me. Maybe other counties are a little bit better, but this is the experience I had, and so I want to save you the world of hurt. Here's how I pull the most relevant data. If you are in a larger master plan community or in a neighborhood that has production builds, you're just going to want to look for something that's most relevant to yours. So if you have the same builder, maybe you found your floor plan sold 3 streets over, you are going to want to pull any home that is of the same size. And when I say the same size, we are talking plus or minus 200 square feet in either direction, either larger or smaller. Never ever comp a 2-story home to a single-story home. They do not carry the same dollar per square foot value, and this is not valuable or to your benefit. You want to pay attention to attributes such as garage counts. For example, in master plan communities, golf carts are super popular. So to have a 3-car garage is a much larger perceived value from a resale perspective than a home with a 2-car garage. Does your property back to a green belt? Do you back to the main road? Do you have a water holding pond behind you? Is there a school nearby? You also want to look at things such as property upgrades that have happened recently, and you're going to get this data from your realtor because they're going to be able to go in and pull in all those extra little MLS documents that are not always readily available to the average viewer on Zillow, such as property upgrades that you can't see maybe. Was there a brand new septic system installed? Was the swimming pool recently resurfaced and refinished? Did they lay a new driveway? All of these attributes have value. Now, there is one step that everybody overlooks, and honestly, it is the one that saved me the most money. You can go to any county website, for example, hayscounty.org or Travis County Assessment District, and you can plug in any property address and pull their current tax assessment value. So I came up with 3 counts, 2 that were my same exact builder and floor plan, and 1 that was very similar but slightly older. I went into the county records and I pulled the market assessment for each individual one. Now I want to highlight to you that 2 of these properties back to a greenbelt and 1 was a much larger corner lot. My property had none of these land attributes. All of them had 2.5 to 3-car garages. I had a 2-car garage. All of these little things start escalating your argument. I have a ChatGPT formula that I've created that is really plug and play. You're going to pop everything in, throw in the prompt, and if you want my prompt, I'm happy to share. Watch till the end and I'll let you know how to get it. And it's going to go ahead and start calculating all of the differences. What you're looking for are large gaps of assessment in value between major attributes of comped properties versus yours. And this is how you're going to win big. So you're almost done and you're well on your way. Once you plug this formula in, ChatGPT is going to go in and it is going to create a 1-pager. I've already added in there the verbiage that you need referencing subject properties, substitutive neighborhoods, and also keep in mind that if you live in a more rural neighborhood, don't be afraid to move a little bit further out, because if somebody buys a home like yours, but maybe there aren't several home sales in your neighborhood, they're likely shopping in other communities that attract similar buyers with similar home profiles, and you're going to want to note those. So you plug in all of your data and the algorithm is going to be already plug and play. You go in, you put your little highlights if you want to call out, and you have a ready to go one-pager document that says, hey county, this is what you said it's worth. Here are the properties that are most relevant to mine. Here is the true assessed value in my professional opinion, and here's the variance of where you went wrong. But you say it a little bit nicer. You print that up and you're good to go. Honestly, my husband walked into our appraisal and after waiting an hour to be seen in public by the board member, the appraiser came out and said, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. Do you have anything for me? My husband literally handed him one piece of paper and the appraiser said, oh, this is perfect. Went into the little room. 5 minutes later, came back out and handed him a piece of paper with our new adjusted value. It's literally that simple. So again, I've just given you so much information and I know that I promised you the prompts. Honestly, it's kind of a long sheet and I have them all listed in the description below, but it's a combination. We're talking find differentiating attributes, identify properties with upgrades, identify lot characteristics of importance, and several other things. So if you want the full prompt sheet, I'm happy to send it directly to you, but know that you've got the highlights down below. And if you want more insights on how to save money as an Austin homeowner or what it's like to live here on a day-to-day, or honestly, just have a question and feel like you can't get a straight answer, give me a shout. Feel free to like and subscribe and check me out at Crystal Sells ATX on Instagram for more everyday life in Austin.